Hey guys, welcome back to Brothers Off Script. I'm Jerry.
I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about life. And you know what we're going to do about life? We're going to complain a little bit about life, and then we're going to figure out how to get out of it. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, follow us, and let us know if you like what we're doing or not. And if you don't like it, leave a comment below, and we will look at it.
Yep.
At least once.
Right.
Maybe twice. So, complaining, right? Sometimes bad stuff happens in life. All the way bad stuff. Bad stuff when it happens to bad people, we go, great.
Yep.
Bad stuff when it happens to good people, we go, that's a bunch of crap. And sometimes these bad things really drive us nuts because they're little.
Yeah,
right?
Well, it's a cumulative effect. You've got 1,000 bad things that happen all the time, and every once in a while you're one of the number that's going to be affected by that. And if you feel like your tally, your punch card is full in a sense, you know, this is bad thing number 10, and now I get to scream or whatever it is. You might be going off on somebody who really didn't know that that was going to happen. They didn't.
For sure.
They didn't have any personal interaction with the problem. They weren't the source of the problem, but for some reason, they're the target. Now, it's usually proximity. The person that hands you a something that's too hot to handle, or
I've got this.
Yeah.
I've got this. So I have a problem with Starbucks. I really do. I have a problem.
Name drop.
Coffee's fantastic. Starbucks, though, I hate your cup.
It's basic.
And I don't know why. I don't know why. Every time I get the cup from Starbucks, the dude or the chick has turned the little drinking hole on the cup right next to the seam. You know, the seam in the cup?
Yeah.
If you put the mouth hole over the seam, what happens is when you drink your coffee, the coffee dribbles out through the seam and onto your chest while you're
Not
driving.
a perfect seal.
It's ridiculous, right? Like, there's all the other ways you could put the mouth. You had one job, right? So the other day, I'm there, I'm buying a Starbucks. The guy hands me the cup. And I just stopped for a second. There's nobody behind me. And I asked the guy. I was nice. I was polite. I said, hey, you know, I've noticed that this is a problem. This is what happens. Have you seen it? He goes, yeah, it happens all the time. Okay, now in my brain, right? I'm not talking like pieces are exploding inside my head, but I'm seriously now, why would you do this? And he goes, look, we have the writing on the side of the cup, you know, where they take your little order. And he goes, and so when we do, we grab the cup, we pick it up, we look, it's oriented towards us, it's facing this direction. We take your order, we pass it to the next person. They pick up your cup, they read your order, they make your coffee, they set it down in the same spot every time so they can see the order so they don't give you somebody else's coffee. Good job. But then their lids are placed in such a position that when you pick the lid up off the stack and put it on top of the cup, the mouth hole's by the seam.
Well, it's got to be psychological. That way you see the order is correct as well when you're about to take a drink out of your coffee. So it's a flaw. It's a flaw in the system. And the system needs an adjustment. So we should write a strongly worded letter to this massive corporation that may or may not get millions of packages and letters a day. But every once in a while,
I didn't take it out on the guy. I asked him the question. He explained why it happened. Then I took my cup down to the counter, and I took the lid off and turned the lid around and fixed it for myself.
Right. Sometimes you got to fix your own problems. Yeah, we've all been victims, I'd say, of cumulative madness, and it could be like I worked at a call center. I know you have too.
Call center guy. I've been the call center guy.
I worked at AOL. I was in account retention.
That's a long time ago.
Which essentially means I was the guy you would talk to when you didn't want your account, and I was there to stop you from canceling it by giving you 3 months of internet service. Or
you're the guy like when they call and they get the angry video on YouTube, like customer center guy loses his mind. Like, that's your job.
Yeah, search that video. It's funny.
It is funny.
Even if it's not the first result, it'll be one of them. And I would spend a lot of time talking to people who didn't really want to talk to me, but they needed an answer, or they wanted their account canceled, or they wanted an upgrade or something. And I was fully authorized to offer them this one-time low discount rate that would get them the best service that they already didn't want for an extended period of time. So it was not a fulfilling job. It's not a good job. It definitely teaches you something about communicating with people and how to talk to somebody. But the biggest part of it was listening. Most of these people, they really just want somebody to listen to them and hear their problems and offer a solution. Whether or not it's the perfect solution, it's at least an attempt, as opposed to just saying, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I can't fix the problem. I'm not going to bother trying to fix the problem. Why are you bothering me with your problem? Like, everyone has problems, sure. But if you work in an industry where you're customer service oriented and you're delivering a product or taking someone's money or anything like that, you are then the face of the company, and you have to be essentially responsible for that company. And whether you like it or not, as long as you're getting a paycheck, you know, you got to step up and do that job. So that sucks, but
that's the way it is.
My complaints are almost always traffic related. As it gets worse, then I feel it more and more. It makes me think about things like, you know, I should move and rent an apartment somewhere up in the city so I don't have to drive so far and deal with this one issue. And that's a huge life change, but you know, sometimes it's worth it.
I guess the way I see it is, complaining is a big part of releasing that frustration and releasing that stress, right? Like, when people don't ever complain, you know who I'm talking about. Like, they're always in a good mood, but they're not really. They're like passive aggressive until they lose their mind and blow up at you. That's a bigger problem than someone, from my view, than someone who says, "Oh man, I'm really ticked about, you know, A, B, and C today. I'm really ticked about my Starbucks cup that I spent $3 on spilling coffee on my chest. I'm really bummed about that." So in that situation, I think it's a good thing to say, yeah, I'm really upset about this. But I think it's also strong to then move forward, right? And I don't mean, we were talking earlier about, like, I don't mean like yell into the pillow. I mean, like, move on, right? It's going to be okay. And my call center experience helped me out this week. I had CenturyLink on the line for 4 days. Every day I called them, trying to get my internet service fixed. Every day I got a very polite person who had a really bad script. Yeah. Like, they had the bad script. You know, like, the call center person doesn't decide what they're going to say to you. There's a script and a flow chart, and they follow that. And if they don't follow that, they get fired because their boss is listening to their every phone call.
That's why I got fired. I didn't pay attention. I stayed on the phone too long. I tried to help people. I dedicated way too much company time to fixing what the company would consider was useless problems. You know, getting to know somebody on the other end of the phone doesn't matter to them. They just want the money.
They want the turnover.
Yeah.
So I got these guys. I'm trying to get my internet service fixed. I don't know where they were. They're having problems typing. You know, I'm getting all kinds of spelling errors back. And I would get advice like, at the end of your call, hey, just log onto the website and look up your account number. And I say, I don't have internet. I need help to look up my account number. And they would say, well, log onto the website and look up your account number. Like, these were the kinds of problems I was having. And yet, even though I was frustrated, I was able to only control it, I think, because I knew what they were going through. They're kind of going through a crap situation. So, I guess,
try and put yourself in their shoes.
Try and put yourself in the shoes of the person you're complaining to. And, you know, this happens with bosses. This happens with coworkers. This happens with, you know, family. You know, stuff's going to happen, and there's going to be misunderstandings. And you know what? If you can try to put yourself in their shoes, even when you're going to complain, at least maybe you're not
as harsh.
Yeah. You don't take it quite so personally, hopefully.
Well, nothing anymore is really personal. I mean, nothing we're doing now is going to personally affect anyone, but someone might still have a complaint about it. You know, that's a good old-fashioned troll. Like, there's got to be a reason to be mad, but not every time. And if you can take anything from this, it's just that, you know, we're all going through this together, in a sense. Whether we're constructively helping the other person or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that we're all stuck, you know, especially when you see the same person over and over again, and they're the source that you would call of the problem. It's, you kind of have to say, well, if I can't get away from this problem and I can't directly fix this problem, maybe I can let someone know that there is a problem.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I'd close out my thoughts with saying, like, I hope that, and this is
There's too many passives.
yeah, I mean, this is like part of my goal with this series for us is I hope as a dad that I can try to teach my kids in a way that it's okay to be frustrated. I tell them all the time, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to get upset. It's not okay to hit your brother in the head with a truck, right? But it's okay.
A shovel.
Or a shovel.
Yeah. Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan. It's okay to be upset, and it's not okay to hurt other people while you're doing it. And if you can find that balance, and if you can work on that yourself, if I can work on that more myself, I can be a better person. I can be a better dad, a better husband, a better worker.
Here's a good one. Wives, any wives out there, don't get super frustrated at work and come home and take it out on your husband because he made a mistake. Tell him you had a bad day, but give him a way to help you, as opposed to just having, like, no guy just wants to be the sounding board for someone's bad day. Most of us are. I'm one of these people. If you present a problem, I'm going to try and come up with an answer. I really am.
I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to listen.
Yeah, I just like, well, then you're not asking me to do anything because I'm not a great listener. It's just that's advice for all wives. I mean, husbands maybe listen more. I don't know. It's contradictory, but it's kind of the same thing. If you have, maybe that's like, especially in a relationship, it's really important to communicate personal expectations of the other person. If you believe that they need to sit there and listen to, don't try and yell at them while they're in the middle of a video game about something that was going on at work. Wait till they pause the game first. Like, what? Sorry, I didn't.
This problem sounds very personal.
It's not specifically for me. I'm just saying that it exists. I've seen this. It's a sitcom joke, but.
I thought you were talking.
You got to put yourself in.
I thought you were talking about me.
You, me, anybody. You got to put yourself in the other person's position first before you decide to say that this person's going to be my sounding board. And then, of course, not even really wanting a response, except for, you're totally right, honey, the other person's a jerk, is not constructive. It doesn't really solve the problem. Maybe it might feel a little bit better, but that's what girlfriends are for. You're supposed to go gab at them about how bad everything is, and then
my goodness,
we can be the other side. This is a completely separate topic that we might get into at another point. Probably not, because I'll probably be dead. But it's just, for any situation like that, if you're going to blow up at the Starbucks guy, or blow up at the customer service person, or blow up at the guy at the tire shop who told you need new brakes, it's not his fault you need new brakes. You know what I mean? It's just, you have to understand that we're all playing a role, and what that role is to be someone else's target. It could be target of affection, target of aggression. You know what I mean? So just try and be understanding who your target is and what position they're in before you just go off on them. So.
And I guess I would say too, like, recognize also that a jerk, male or female, doesn't care what you think.
Yeah.
They're a messed up, hurting person, and you taking the time to tell them how wrong they are, it's not going to help you or them.
No.
So guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, leave a comment, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Bye.